sunglasses all the time so nobody has to look me in the eye because I'm kind of a bitch. I don't want to be looked in the eye because they'll see that I'm a fucking liar and a coward and a pussy.
Wow, Nick. Wow, Nick. Nice to see you tell the truth for once. Even though it's taken out of context. But anyway, I think he was talking about somebody from the geek room or something. But anyway, yeah. Corky made this video, but never mentioned me in the video. Mentioned me in the title. Something about me and Bruce and Rabbit Old Bat conducting a sex act. You know, he's done that to me. Like, this is like third or fourth time he's done that. Other times I mentioned it was me, Blue, and Grampy Lobster. Me and Von Heltman and Blue. I think he did. Yes, buddy. That's Thor. He telling me off. Thor, the Dog of Thunder. Anyway, if you want to see Thor, go to my other channel, Mirkwood Farms. And maybe I'll show you Thor. This is Thor. Where's Thor? Oh, get up here. You're getting heavy. What are you eating? Bricks? Dang my knees. There's Thor. Say hi to everybody, Thor. We're going to talk about Nick Bravo. You want to talk about Nick Bravo? You do? Okay. That's Thor. He's a blue heeler border collie mix. He's my wife's dog. My dog's an Australian Shepherd. Anyway, so you got to see Blue, or not Blue. That's not Blue. That's Thor. You got to see Thor. Blue is my turkey and my friend that lives in Ohio. But besides the point, the video, if you look on his channel, it's on there. It's just stupid. He always comes up with, he thinks it's funny, I guess. He should know that nobody laughed the other times he did it. So, you know, he doesn't get a clue. He thinks he's, you know, a comedian. He's not. If he ever became a comedian, he'd starve to death. But I'm going to take some excerpts from this video and talk about those. It was like an hour-long video. No, it was 20-some minute video, but just him running his mouth. I'm going to go let the dog out. You watch this.
Stop. Part of it, though, is going to be that, like, we just really do need to move.
Where are you going to move? Huh? You know, anywhere you go, there's going to be a long waiting list for public housing like you got. So, anywhere you move, where are you going to stay while you're on that waiting list? Huh? It could take years, in some cases a decade, to get Section 8 housing. You might as well stay where you're at, because you ain't going nowhere unless you want to live in a tent. Because have you seen what's going on in the cities today? Los Angeles, San Francisco. You can't go those places. California is off limits to you. Houston, Atlanta, many other places. New York City, there's the Portland, Oregon, Seattle, Phoenix, Arizona. I mean, they're full of homeless now. People can't afford to pay rent in these places, and they're forced to live out on the streets. And you're going to move somewhere without a plan. You and Sabella going to live on the streets. Okay, because that's what's going to happen. You ain't got no plan. You ain't got no money saved up. And even if you did move somewhere, you know, you wouldn't get a Section 8 housing, so where are you going to live?
The thing of it is, there's a lot of people who want to call themselves libertarians because they think it's going to give them an excuse to behave badly.
I know this is a poke at me and Dapperton, because you don't like the fact that we're libertarians because you think you are. You're not a libertarian. You're the one with your hands out to the government. You're sucking on the government's teat. You're no libertarian, Nick. You think it should be illegal for people to talk about you. You're the opposite of a libertarian. Me and Mr. Dapperton, are libertarians. I'm a libertarian. You know why I'm a libertarian? Because it matches my values. You could be a Democrat or Republican. If it matches your values, be what you are. I'm more independent than anything, but, you know, I'm not even registered as a libertarian because I don't think they do that here in Alabama. Colorado was registered as a libertarian. I even ran for state House of Representatives in Colorado under the Constitution Party, which is basically the Christian version of the Libertarians. You know, but I digress. I'm a libertarian, and you're just going to have to deal with it, Nick. And it isn't because I think I can get away with shit. I'm not doing anything wrong. Calling you out on your bullshit isn't wrong. Anything I've ever done concerning you isn't wrong, and doesn't, and neither would Mr. Dapperton either.
That's another thing we're going to take our computers with. We're going to take different stuff with. We're also going to take some food with, because there are certain things. The grocery stores are probably going to be pretty fucking thinned out because of all the people going to see the eclipse. And it's one of those things. It's like the whole thing is supposed to take hours and hours and hours, and it's just like the actual eclipse itself is going to take like 4.5 minutes, but when it's, you know, centered. But the going over, that's going to take like 3 hours. So I don't know. I think it's going to take 3 hours anyway.
So Nick is going to see the solar eclipse. He said he's going to Mexico. He's an idiot. Says he's going to Tijuana to see it. Well, the eclipse isn't even going over Tijuana, and you can't get to Tijuana from Texas. I mean, you want to navigate the Mexican roads. Yeah, I don't think so. You go through some dangerous country back in there if you're going to traverse across Mexico, idiot. And I don't think you have the good sense to do that. You definitely don't. I wouldn't do it. And I know you couldn't do it. I'm a former truck driver. I've driven in every single state in the in the lower 48. I've actually driven in Mexico, not as a truck driver, on a motorcycle. But you know, you're an idiot. Now, some friends helping you out with the place to stay, so you got it all planned that you're going to go. Well, for one, let me give you two pieces of advice. If you decide to, you know, you're going to go see it, just look at the eclipse with your naked eye. You'll get a better view of it because sunglasses will darken it a little bit. So, you know, and if you do use sunglasses, get the cheap ones from the convenience store. Don't buy those, you know, special sunglasses. You don't need them, Nick. Just look straight into this eclipse. The other, this is more serious, is you're going to drive there with your brakes going out. Everybody is going to see the eclipse except for me. No, a lot of people. So the whole pathway of the eclipse is going to be traffic jams. No hotels. You know, I guess you already got your place set up. Where are you going to stay? 10 hours to get there, you said? I wouldn't. You're not experienced enough to drive 10 hours straight. As a truck driver, that's the very, very limit to driving. It may have changed because it always changes all the time. 9 hours is what they tell you to drive as a truck driver because you need the extra time to get to your parking spot. The truck drivers always have a plan to where they're going. You don't have a plan, you're probably just going to turn on the GPS on your phone and watch that while you're going down the road and then rear end somebody. Because we've seen your driving habits. You have really bad driving habits. You and Sabella are in danger. You got bad brakes going out. You have bad driving habits. and you're going into where it's going to be a little crazy because everybody's trying to get there to see the eclipse. That's why I'm not going. I thought about going, but I should have planned it a year ago if I was going to go. There's no hotel rooms along the path, from what I hear. It's going to be traffic jams. Any city that's on the eclipse is just going to be one big traffic jam. The interstates are going to be slow because a lot of people are on them. And you're going to take 45 down through Kansas, probably, which is a toll road. Once you get near Wichita, all the way down through Oklahoma City, you have to pay tolls to be on that road. Hope you planned for that. Probably didn't. And if you want to avoid the tolls, you don't know how to navigate enough to avoid them. Oh, maybe there's a feature on your phone to avoid tolls. Maybe. You know, going to go through Kansas, going to go through Oklahoma. You better not speed through Kansas because they'll get your ass in Kansas. Kansas State Troopers don't mess around. And you were running from the law the other day into a parking lot. I don't know what that was all about. Don't want to assume anything, so I just won't. But I know you were hiding from the cops the other day. So, you know, Kansas cops are going to be watching. They love seeing people with out-of-state plates come through their state. You know, they do. I got family in Kansas, so I know. So, you know, I don't know what I know you're excited about going, and now your brake's going out, and that sucks. But you might be able to get your brakes fixed, and you better look into it. Too bad you don't have any friends. I mean, you can find a friend that can put new pads on for you, but you don't have any friends. I don't mess with brakes. I've been shown how to do it. I put, had the old school cars, had the expanding boots, I think they call them. Newer cars have disc brakes, so they have pads. I haven't replaced. I heard they're easier to replace than the old school ones. I've replaced brakes on a car before. It's a friend standing over my shoulder the whole time. Yeah, do this. Make sure you disconnect that spring, and then put that spring here so you don't lose it. That's important. Unscrew this, pull it out, put it back, put the new one in, screw it back in, put the spring back. It's been like 2 decades since I've done that, but I've done that. You haven't, because you don't have any skills, because you're a gimp. A simp. You're a simp. Whatever a simp is, I don't even know what a simp is. I know it's a bad thing they call some guys, so I'll call you a simp. Anyway, I called you something I don't even know what it is. Just like you call people, what do you call other Christians that you don't like? Oh, you call them Calvinists. And you don't even know what a Calvinist is, and you allegedly have a degree in religious studies, and you don't even know what a Calvinist is. I mean, how pathetic is that? Golly, you're dumb. Anyway, this is another important to that. If you get into an accident because of your brakes, even if you get into an accident, not even because of your brakes, people are going to stop in front of you. We know you watch your phone all the time. You're going to be talking to Sabella. You're not going to be paying attention. You're going to slam into the back of somebody. Or you realize, oh shit, you hit your brakes and you ain't got enough brakes to stop in time. And you're going to go down all the way through Texas, all the way through Oklahoma, Kansas, and Texas, all the way down to the Mexico border. You don't know how to drive worth a shit. And you got bad brakes. As you don't want to pay the $100.60 that cost to fix them. Well, how much is it going to cost you when you slam into somebody? And you've already mentioned on your YouTube channel, you made videos out there that people got copies of, where you said that your brakes are going out, but you can't afford to fix them because you got your trip. You're just going to play it by ear. Well, what if you ran into a family of children? Well, a family of children. A family with children in their little station wagon or a minivan, and they're all excited about seeing the eclipse, and here comes Nick and Sibel, slam! Right into the back of them. Huh? Cause their minivan to flip over, and little baby toddler comes flying out the window and gets smashed. And you're going to go to prison because you knew your brakes were bad. That's right, Nick. You go to prison for that. If you kill somebody and you knew your brakes were bad, and which you know they're bad, everybody knows that watches your videos knows your brakes are bad, and you wreck into somebody, you think I'm going to keep my mouth shut? I'm not. I'm going to tell my wife. My wife is a medical adjuster for a major insurance company, and she'll know what to do with that information. I'll show her the video of you saying your brakes are bad, that you can't afford to fix them, but you went ahead and traveled anyway. So think about that, Nick. And those of you watching, back me up on that one. Nick said knew his brakes are bad. So when he kills somebody, he can go back to prison. And he can piss himself again. But what if you kill Sabella next to you? Do you care enough about Sabella to make sure you got good brakes when you get on the highway? Huh? Because if you leave without getting those brakes fixed, you don't give a shit about Sabella. She's just a piece of ass for you. So take that to the bank, bitch.